Hey guys, I'm here with the first podcast talking about my time at the Atlanta Open, my first kind of mini podcast where I talk about things that went down on each day, post the end of the day of the tournament. So today I was able to give interviews to 3 different professional players in Arthur Rinderknech, Mackenzie McDonald, and also Harold Mayot. Which was fantastic, really fun to do. It was all 3 winners of the matches that happened on Stadium Court at the Atlanta Open, so the main court. All three winners of matches on that court, I was able to interview all of them and actually do one-on-one interviews, which will also be on the channel. It was really exciting. It was fun to be able to be at the stadium watching the matches and make notes of what I wanted to ask each player and do my research and make notes of what's going on in the matches, and then being able to, really ask them what I'm wondering the most about those players, and ask them, things that I think are notable about the matches, and it was really fun. But the first match that happened was Rinderknech taking on JJ Wolf. Wolf got to the semis here last year. JJ got to the semis here last year, and Rinderknech completely outplayed him. I mean, Wolf was a lucky loser, actually. Into the draw, but Rinderknech, he served unbelievably well. I said this in the press conference, but he won like 88% of his first serve points. Wolf had nothing for him. With that, Wolf had flashes of brilliance, but a lot of unforced errors as well. It was very straightforward, straight sets, I think 6-2, 6-3, and Rinderknech played really well. I mean, Wolf, he's been blasting serves, even in qualifying he was blasting serves. Usually it likes to go for slice, but he's been hitting them even harder a little bit, and that's been cool to see. But Rinderknech was too good today. JJ, just no confidence, too many unforced errors, no consistency. So that's kind of what happened with that one. JJ's a player who I always root for. I think he brings a lot of character and personality to the tour, and he was awesome to talk to last year. But Rinderknech is very, very good, and he was very nice in person as well. So I was happy to see that. All of the players who I spoke to were very nice. The next up was Mackenzie McDonald taking on Nakashima. It was so hot today, by the way. Definitely the hottest day of the event so far. Not the sunniest day ever, which we'll get to in a bit later. The night session was canceled due to rain. We'll get to that. But Mackenzie McDonald versus Nakashima. McDonald got a very early break. Nakashima just a few quick errors. And that was basically the story of the match. Just a bunch of unforced errors from his side. There was a lot of unforced errors from Nakashima's side. His serve wasn't working quite as well as usual, and McDonald did well to give himself chances. Even broke at love at 4-4. But right before that, the biggest point of the match, crazy rally, kind of a baby set point for Nakashima, because up until then in the set he was impenetrable. So if he was going to serve for the set, he was going to hold. But it was his first break point of the match, Nakashima. They played an absolute blistering, incredible rally. Nakashima did well to take control and be aggressive, and Mackie McDonald just scrambling, a great squash shot out of the corner, great explosive movement to the due side corner to get a forehand back, and then just big shots after big shots to each other. But McDonald managed to hold that point and then hold that game, and then he broke out love in the next game. So that was kind of the crucial point of the match. But Mackie is so fast. Watching these players in person, it just, you don't get it on TV. You don't get the feel of the matches I mean, when you're there in person, I mean, court level view is the closest thing you can get, but even that is miles off. When you're there, and I'm not just talking about, Alcaraz and Djokovic and, I'm talking about world number 150. Like, these players don't look like the rest of us. Like, they can do things with the racket consistently, and with the way they move their bodies and move on the court, that is just feels different from what we are. I mean, they're absolutely supreme athletes who play absolutely amazing, and they're so quick. They are so fast. Every player is so fast. That's something that has to be understood. I mean, not just Demonor, but the pros are so quick in person. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And Mackenzie McDonald, seeing him scramble in person was amazing. He didn't have to scramble that much, as Nakashima was spraying a lot of errors. But Mackie played really, really well. I'd watch out for him. Played in Atlanta a couple times before. Didn't do that great. But yeah, we'll see if he does better now. He hasn't had a great season, to be fair, thus far in general. But he can always grow on it. Mackie was very nice in person too, which was very cool to see. All the players kind of gave me great eye contact when they were answering questions and were very nice, so it's been good to see. And then the last match on after that was Mayot versus Coric. First set was incredible. Peak humidity and heat, and peak intensity and drama in this first set. Well, best set of the tournament that I've watched so far, without doubt. It was amazing. Well, first of all, Coric's the favorite. He's really had a very subpar last few months, to be fair, though, Coric, but he's done well in the North American hardcourt swing. Obviously, Cincinnati champion. After Mayot won this match, he called Coric a legend of the sport, which I don't know. That's a bit pushing it far, I think, but still, I mean, Coric has been to a Shanghai final, and he's been Cincinnati champion. Great player, anyway, and Mayot saved a few set points and pulled out an extraordinary tiebreaker. I mean, it was like I was saying it to somebody else in the crowd. Just this is like heavyweight versus heavyweight. They're just exchanging huge blows after huge blows. I mean, Coric is somebody who hits the ball super big, but Mayot was matching him and more, and it was amazing. Coric, both of them were mentally very sharp, and it was a set point at 10-9. That was one of the best rallies by far of the tournament. Probably the best rally of the tournament. Incredible set point. Kind of similar to that Nakashima McDonald point, but even better than that. Just huge shots after huge shots and a lot of defensive scrambling from both. And Mayot ended up winning that one. Yeah, Mayot, underrated 22-year-old, kind of part of the next gen. We'll see how far he goes, but I enjoyed speaking to him. I enjoyed the press conference afterwards. Came across as a very genuine kind of guy. And I appreciated being able to speak to him and giving him the time to kind of say his things. And yeah, Coric still, I mean, he was dealing with some health stuff himself. Mayot was dealing with health stuff. They were both struggling in different ways. Coric in particular, a little bit with the movement. He's a guy who's very intense and physical out there. There's a lot of sliding on hard courts and big athletic movements. But yeah, Mayot played really well, and I'd watch out for him for sure. And got an early break in the second set. That's all that he kind of needed. And yeah, then after that, rain delay for the rest of the day. So, but it was very fun. It was great asking them questions. I'm looking forward to more. It became a great pattern. I got to do one-on-one interviews today. I was kind of that guy in the press. There's nobody else kind of doing the post-match press conferences. I was the only guy there, which was it was great. I enjoyed doing those one-on-ones. So that was good. And yeah, obviously check out the Andy Roddick, the video where I interview Roddick and the Bryans and Isner. I also interviewed Sloane Stephens and Taylor Townsend after their match, also on court the other day. The video that I recorded, the audio came off completely wrong, so I'm going to see if I can find other footage from that interview that we could upload, but I managed to ask them a question too, the last question of the press conference. Actually, both on-court interviews, I asked the last question of the press conference, which was very cool, but yeah, just being right there, just suddenly almost, with like four legends of the game. And I'm not just talking about Bryans and Roddick, but also Isner as well. I mean, Isner, even just with that Isner-Mahou match by itself, I mean, he's in tennis history for sure, and changed the game. And I mean, very impressive player, Masters 1000 champion. He's beaten Federer he's beaten Federer at Davis Cup. He's had good wins, pushed Rafa to 5 on clay, which is supposed to be his worst surface. Actually, that's where he beat Federer at Davis Cup as well, and he's done great on other surfaces too. So, especially on other surfaces like hard and grass. Isner definitely a legend, and I mean Bryans and Roddick. I mean Andy Roddick, what an icon of the sport. One of the best on the mic. We've seen that now with the Surf podcast, but being able to talk to him was special, and seeing him there and ask him a question. Very exciting for me. Federer was always my favorite to watch, and he played so many iconic finals against Roddick. So, in fact, the first match I ever watched was Roddick taking on Federer. So, to be able to ask him a question was really special, and also the Bryans, which I might have asked them the last question of their playing. I don't know if career is the right word, but I mean, it's a press conference for a match that they played, and they all seem to really find Atlanta a special tournament, a very kind of hyped vibe, like atmosphere, which is something I love about Atlanta. It's very laid back, just chill, genuine, tight-knit community, great atmosphere, a lot of hype. The ball kids are involved, everybody's involved. I mean, Atlanta built something special with this tournament, and it's going to be sad to see it go. And I'm glad that Isner got to be a part of it. I'm glad that Brian's got to be a part of it. They won 2015, 2017. But to me, Brian's are not just the best doubles team of all time. I think they're two of the best tennis players of all time. To be honest, they're so ridiculously talented. They're so in sync. They just have tennis in their veins. And I really think that they're two of the best tennis players ever. And I do think they're the best doubles team of all time. I mean, they're just perfect. 39 Masters or whatever. Like, they're just a special kind of dominant. So to be able to look them in the eyes and ask them that question was very cool. And I got scared midway through that press conference, to be honest, because there's like a 5-second silence, which is always scary in a press because they might just call it. But somebody else was clutch and asked a question, or else they might have just ended the press and I wouldn't have even asked a question yet. Nope. And then as soon as he started saying the question, I was like, you know what? I got to take this opportunity. I'm not letting this pass me by. And I made sure I asked Roddick the next question. Then obviously I asked the question to Brian's at the end as well. But I had a bunch of questions prepared. I always try to prepare as much as possible with questions as well. And I mean, listen, the pros are giving their absolute, fighting their butt off, trying to win these matches. The least I can do is look up a few things on Wikipedia and, Tennis Abstract and, whatever other sources I can find of, like, old interviews by them. Like, that's the least I can do. I mean, they're working their butt off every single day playing this, wonderful, torturous, incredible, terrible, amazing, physical, mental war of a sport and game that we call tennis. The least I can do is, type a few things on the internet and see what I can find about these players and what could be interesting and get engaging good answers. I mean, it's very fun to watch it in person, and I really get engaged in the matches, so it's fun to get those kind of answers back as well. So, yeah, very exciting, and I'm excited to do more. I got into a great pattern today of asking matches and doing that, but yeah. So that's been something that's been going on. I mean, the qualifying was fun to watch the last couple of days. Just on the last note, I thought the best from the qualifying was like Zachary Svitek, who's very talented. I'd watch out for him, and also Billy Harris, who's playing really well. But both of them lost in straight sets in the first round here. So I guess it just does show that you do have to go up a level when you get kind of to the main draw. But you had some qualifiers doing well too, like Adam Walton got the win, and like I mentioned, also Coric. Losing as well to Harold Mayot. So anyway, it's been a good couple of days, first qualifying and now this, and talking to Sloan and Taylor and also to Brian's and Roddick, and then today to all of the players I got to talk to. There will be more coming up. TFO versus Karatsev is tomorrow. That was a match in Washington, so look out for more podcasts. I'm going to be doing these every single day. And yeah, please don't forget to subscribe to QualityShot Tennis. Please don't forget to like, and yeah, make sure you join in for all of the content that's going to be coming out of the Atlanta Open. More to come. All right, I appreciate you guys. See you at the next video for more.